Hey guys, Jerome here. Today I wanted to do a video for the 2015 Moto X, 24 hours after use, and the 2015 Moto G, 48 hours after use. So we'll start off with the 2015 Moto G. I love Motorola. I like what they're doing. I've been a fan of their product line for a while. The Moto G is probably one of the best budget smartphones you can buy, starting at $179.99 or $180. You get a pretty capable phone for not a lot of money. That's the best way to put it. I use one and I use it every day. I got mine on Motorola's website and I customized it, and I did the white front with just like a silver trim here and then a turquoise or teal colored backing. Now the backing is removable. It comes with or it has a micro SD slot, so you could put more memory in it, and it has a slot for your micro SIM card. So the version I got is the 16 gigabyte version that has 16 gigs of internal memory and 2 gigs of RAM. I got this one for $219.99. I got this one over the 8 gig version because I wanted more RAM. The 8 gig version only comes with 1 gig of RAM, but again, that's $180 for the 1 gig version. So, you save some money if you're just looking for a basic phone. And I mean, that's what this is pretty much. It's a basic phone, but it pretty much does everything that like a lot of like mid-level phones and even high-end phones can do. Mid-end, mid-level. I don't say basic in like a bad way. I mean, like, Motorola is good for putting a very close version of stock Android on it, and so it doesn't come with like a bunch of apps that you don't want. It comes with pretty much the basic apps, and then you can add whatever you want to it. And that's how I feel phones should be. It should have the basics, and then if you want to add certain things to it, you should have the choice to. Not like, hey, here's 8 million things, and you might be able to remove 4 million of them, but the other 4 million, you gotta use. And I don't like that. And Motorola, I applaud them for keeping a very stock version of Android skin on there. Usually the phones I buy are only Motorola's and Nexus phones because I prefer the stock vanilla Android versions of the phone. Anyway, so I've been using this phone for a while. It has good reception. Has front-facing speakers. Even at a phone at 180, you're not gonna find other phones. Like I know the iPhone has a speaker at the bottom, and there's only one speaker, and the same goes with like the Samsung Galaxy phones. The G4 I think comes in the rear. But like speakers are a big thing for me, and I like that they have speakers so like they're facing you when you watch a video or Netflix or something. That's a video too. Anyway, using Chrome, using email, I didn't find lag. It felt pretty smooth going through everything. I like that the phone has like gesture features. So to turn the camera on, you would twist your hand twice to turn the camera on, and then to do the flashlight, you chop down twice and it turns on, and then you chop down again and it'll turn it off. I think those are really great features. I'm actually glad that they put them on the Moto G and not just like leave it for the top of the line Moto X. I felt those were really good additions. The one gripe that I've had with the phone is with the internal memory. So I put a micro SD card in here, and you know what? Maybe I didn't really go through the settings that well, but like when I take a picture, it still saves it to the internal memory, and then I have to mount it to the my micro SD memory. I don't know if there's a way to just get it to automatically get there. So if there is, and like you guys are watching this and you want to let me know, please like put a comment down so I can change those settings, or if I find out, I'll let you guys know too. Battery life is really good on it. The battery life, you know, I can pretty much go through a whole day. I mean, you know, your mileage will vary, may vary, YMMV. So like depending on how you use it. This isn't my primary phone. I use this as a secondary, so I don't use it as often as my daily driver, which was my Nexus 6 and now my Moto X. But it's still, I mean, like from what I can tell, it lasts a long time. Now, I did a 0 to 100 charge, meaning like I let the phone drain to 0, and then I you know, I plugged it in and I timed it to see how long it would get to 100%, and it took about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Now, like a lot of it lagged from, not lagged, but like it from 95% to 100%, that took a lot longer than to get it from 0 to 95 or 94%. So, you know, 2 hours in, you know, you'll probably have like a maybe 80% or something. I can't remember, but you know, if this phone lasts you throughout the whole day, then you just have to worry about plugging in at night, and then who cares if it takes, you know, 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever. It doesn't take 4 hours, but almost 3 hours worth. Camera's really good. They're using the sensor from the Nexus 6, which I was actually surprised that they put it on here. The pictures shoot fast. You know, the excuse me. The phone feels premium, like the phone feels good. Like it's like it's a good phone. I don't know how else to put it. And for this price, it's a phone that I recommend to a lot of people who are on a budget, or for people who aren't looking to do like a ton of things on it, but they just want the basics. They want to text, they want to make phone calls, they want to like surf the net once in a while, check Facebook, like all of the stuff, all of that stuff can be done on the Moto G for $180. And then if you want 16 gigs, then it's $220, but you also have the option to add expandable memory with a micro SD card. So it's a really good deal. That's pretty much what I want to say. It's customizable. You can, you know, do whatever colors. It's a great phone. I like it. And so with that, I wanted to get into the Moto X. I am actually like, I love the Moto X. I've only had it for 24 hours, but coming from a Nexus 6, the one big thing that I like about it is it's still a big screen lengthwise, but like widthwise, I can hold it in my hand a lot better than I was able to on the Nexus 6. The Nexus 6, like it wasn't like I was struggling to hold it, but when you're holding it and then you're trying to use your thumb like one-handed to like use, you know, like go through things, like you're always going to need two hands. Well, not always, but like most of the time you're going to need two hands with the Nexus 6. And I knew that coming in. I knew I was going to use two hands. I knew you know, it was a big phone and I needed to use two hands, but I forgot what it was like to kind of just use a one-handed or have one-handed operation for some of the stuff on the phone. And the Nexus, the Moto X, the 2015 Moto X is, I like it. It's you know, and I know I've seen other reviews where they're saying, oh, it's a monster-sized phone, but I guess it's different for everyone. And so for me, I mean, and you know what? I use a Moto G, and like honestly, in the hand they feel the same, except the Moto X is a bigger screen, a longer screen, and like the bezels, like if you see the bezels here compared to the Moto G, like there's barely any bezel. The screen is actually really nice. I like the way the screen looks. You know, images are crisp. Yeah, crisp. That's like the trendy word. Like I hear everyone saying crisp. But the images look good. They're clear. I don't know what else to say. The display looks good. Now it's not like you know, a Galaxy S6 display. I mean, you know, I saw those and that's gorgeous, but like this is still a really good looking screen. It's a good display. It's like I'm gonna go off tangent here, but like, you know, like if someone buys like a $5,000, or you see a $5,000 TV at the store and it looks great, but then you buy like a $1,000 TV and you have it at home, like you don't have the $5,000 TV sitting right next to it, so you really can't, like, it's still gonna look good. And that was a really bad analogy, but I don't know how to edit, so there you go. Anyway, the Moto X, I I like the way this phone feels in hand. I like the buttons. Actually, the buttons actually feel better than the Moto G, even though they're similar buttons. For some reason, like pressing down feels better. I guess that's the premium feel or the more premium feel for it. But I like it a lot. The feel is good. The rubbery kind of texture in the back is nice. And this has, you know, like the IR sensors on the front. So like if I have my phone like sitting on a table, I can just put my hand over the phone without touching it, and like it'll show me the time. It'll show me if I have any new notifications, and I don't think there are any other phones that do that. I could be wrong, but I don't think there are. This phone has that 808 Snapdragon processor. It has 3 gigs of RAM. I really didn't experience lag, and now so this one I can speak more of because I use this all the time, and I'm a very heavy user. And so the only time I noticed lag was today when I was using Hangouts, and for some reason when I was texting it kind of slowed down, and so that was the only time I had some sort of hiccup. Other than that, everything else was working pretty well. Apps work well. I didn't notice any kind of yeah, no stuttering or anything like that. It was pretty good. I'm not much of a gamer, so like I can't speak to that, but like as far as just like a lot of the basic stuff and having a bunch of apps open, like things went really smoothly. Again, this phone also has the same features that that they put on the Moto G, the twist to open up the camera, and then the flashlight feature where you chop down twice to turn it on, chop down twice to turn it, chop down twice to, there you go, chop down twice to turn it off. And then this also has hands-free voice activation, so like I gave it a keyword to like turn on the phone, so like I don't need to like be next to my phone. I can like yell at it and say, hey, what time is it, or what's the weather today, or you know, check my email, or open an app, stuff like that. I know a lot of people who don't use a Moto X don't know that. You know, I've had all 3 versions of the Moto X, first gen, second gen, and now the 3rd gen, and I love the features that they put on it. Again, it has front-facing speakers. Compared to the Moto G, I actually like tested the volume on both, and as far as loudness goes, they're about the same for loudness. I don't have like a decibel kind of meter or whatever they're called, so I'm just going off of like what I can tell. Loudness is pretty similar. If not, the Moto G actually sounds maybe a little bit louder, but the Moto X, the speakers sound a lot more, or they're a lot fuller. These sound tinny. It has that kind of like metally kind of, you can just tell. Like if you didn't have both of these phones and didn't compare, you know, you wouldn't even notice, but the Moto X does sound a lot fuller. Camera, you know, the camera's really good. I like the camera. It's like instantaneous to take pictures. Like I haven't really tried a lot of like focusing or anything, but you know, I don't do manual controls. I don't do any of that. I just pretty much snap and shoot, and then like, you know, if I'm on Instagram, I'll use it to filter and crop stuff or whatever, but like that doesn't happen often. Like I take a picture, I send it, and then I'm good with it. I don't print it out. I don't make a poster out of it, but the pictures look really good. I have no complaints. You know, I don't do these in-depth things that like, first of all, I don't have the money to buy like 8 million phones and then like test a camera on each, but the camera's really good. I like it. Front camera works well too. Front camera has flash this time. I don't use flash. I don't like flash. I just think things look artificial with it. I'm sure that varies, and like, but for me, it's just not a thing. What else was I gonna say? There were a couple other things I wanted to note on here. Battery. So I'm a very heavy user. Like I said, I pulled this phone yesterday, or this morning at around 7:15, and actually the phone just died. So like it lasted me about, what time is it now? 7:20. So it lasted me about 12 hours. Now that's 12 hours, but like the last time I checked my screen on time, I had about 3 hours and 50 minutes. So if I wasn't, you know, I could probably get 3 hours and 30 minutes and go like 16 hours or so, I'm sure. Um, Again, this varies for people. You know, I was making phone calls. I was, you know, like reading news and stuff most of the day. Just using it for whatever. And it wasn't on Wi-Fi all day either. So I did put a lot of use into it. The battery seems comparable to my Nexus 6. If not, this might be a little better, but this is I only charged it once so far. So this will be, I'll charge it again and see if it gets better. What was I gonna say? Oh, I did a 0 to 100 test on this too. So from 0 to 100, it did it in 1 hour and 18 minutes, which is, I think, about the same on my Nexus 6 to charge it, because it has that turbocharging or quick charge feature. Actually, the impressive part was when I charged it at 0, and I plugged it in about 20 minutes, it got to 60%. So like, that was just, wait, 20, I said 25 minutes. So in 25 minutes, it got from 0 to 60%, which I thought was awesome. You know, that's great for like, well, like today, like on a Friday, you know, you're working all day, you're using your phone, and then you get home and you're still going to go out at night. Plug it in 15, 20 minutes, and then you're good to go pretty much for the whole night, you know? And, you know, if you're usually out at night, you're probably not on your phone that much, unless you're taking selfies and pictures of food all night. But I like the phone a lot. I know that this is just kind of, I've only had both of these phones for a day and 2 days, but I don't know if this will help, because I don't know if there are a lot of people who are actually considering getting a Moto X or a Moto G, but like, just so you know, and hopefully this video will help. So a Moto G, okay, if we're going to compare gigabytes, a 16 gig Moto G is 220. A 16 gig Moto X is $399. So what was that? I'm trying to, so like you get a faster processor for what, the extra $180, faster processor, a bigger screen, a better looking display, a more like premium feel. It has the IR sensors, so like, you know, you can like wave your hand over it and see what notifications. The speakers sound better. More RAM, 3 gigs versus 2, a better camera it looks like, and I'm probably missing stuff, and I can't think of it right now. So, but you know, is the extra money worth it to you to buy it? That's really up to you. You know, we're all on a different budget. You know, not all of us have like $650 to buy a phone, $800, whatever. Like a Note 5 costs now, or a S6 Edge Plus. But like, if you're looking to spend under, well, if you're looking to spend under $200, like I would recommend the Moto G, you know, the newest generation Moto G. I think it's a great phone. If you're looking for under $400, you know, I know there's the OnePlus 2 that's out, and there are probably other phones, but like, I guess I'm just a fan of Motorola. I like the front facing speakers. I like that I could put a micro SD card, which is a nice touch that they put on this time. I like that any network works with it. It has also like, even Verizon, you can put a Verizon SIM in here and like there are no issues, which is like, I didn't think that was ever going to happen, but I'm surprised it did. I guess that's it. You know, I know I'm missing stuff, and this video is probably longer than I intended it to be, but I kind of just wanted to point those things out. You know, this is my second video that I'm making, and I wanted to thank people for actually, I didn't think I was going to get views or that many views, and people subscribed and people commented, so thank you. I mean, feel free to keep liking and keep subscribing, and saying this makes me sound like all the other YouTubers, but like seriously, it's cool to see. You know, I would like to keep doing reviews. I'm gonna try to get the Nexus 5 when it comes out, and so like hopefully I can do a review on that too, because those are really the phones that I like buying. And I guess that's it for now. You know, as soon as other tech and stuff comes out, I'll probably start doing reviews on that too. And you probably stopped listening to this like, what, a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, or a long time ago. Anyway, I guess I'll catch you guys later.